Hey everybody, RC here. Welcome back to Anviltrumpets, our Dwarf Fortress playthrough. And this is episode number 20. I have played ahead a few months since our last video. And we have just finished trading. I did wait for that to end. And nothing much going on. We had a thief come in, but we did catch him and he ran off, so there was nothing we could do there. I did want to take a look at our last slab that we put in. This is a well-crafted memorial to Atyr, who died in the goblin attack, shot and killed by the goblin Utes dungeon lanced with an iron bolt from a copper crossbow in Uma's Uzo, the attack of conflict in the year 140. Loving mother and wife, friend of giant cockatiels. So I like how on the dwarfs, they do, periodically give a pretty thorough explanation of what happened. Now, because the goblins were not named or legendary creatures, we did not do that. I probably should not have done the squirrel either, but he was named. So if he would have been just a giant squirrel, we would not have put that. But you remember that attack a while back. So let's see, what else is going on? We did have the injury, so we have set up a hospital. So in here, I have my doctor's area with desks and chairs, which the green X's mean that those items are still coming. This room here is for traction benches when dwarfs are mangled up and need to be placed in traction and can't move. So I will have 4 traction benches in there. And then I will have 6 individual private rooms, each with a bed and a table. A table in the hospital area is where the doctor performs surgery. So if you like individual rooms, you need to put a table in. Sometimes they do a big open room, and what you can do then is do bed, table, bed, because one table can service both beds that are adjacent to it. So there's, you don't have to have individual rooms. I usually do the big open room. This time I decided to go do something a little different, and then always put 2 coffers or chests in the room. And if we go to I for zones and go into our hospital, you can see it's coded as a hospital, and Shift H, we can look at our information. So we have 6 beds, 8 tables, 4 traction benches, 2 boxes or bags. We have our full complement of thread and cloth, splints, crutches, buckets. I do not have any gypsum powder yet, which I need to get from trading because I have not found any. And I need to make soap. And I'll be honest with you, I feel horrible saying this, but I have never made soap in any fortress. So I will actually try to figure out how to do that in this particular dungeon. It doesn't appear very hard. I've just never done it. So I need to go into the wiki. And speaking of the wiki, again, my friend Aaron is the one that I started doing this for in Germany. So I want to show you, for him, the wiki. And I will be honest with you, I'm almost 50 years old. I've been playing video games since the original Pong console came out. So I've been playing video games a long, long time. This is probably, and of course that predates the internet too, but in all my gaming, this wiki for Dwarf Fortress is by far the best and most complete and detailed wiki for any game I have ever seen. It's updated religiously. You can see here it does have previous versions, so even if you're playing an older version, that information is still here. And it's very simple, so like I just said, I need to go in and figure out how to make soap. So here's a soap flowchart. And basically, let's see, chop wood, make ash, which I have that. So I just need to make lye, take the lye, and make soap with it. That seems pretty simple. So let me go see about that. So, well, we were looking at here. But anyway, that's the wiki, and basically just type in anything up here if you want to know about dragons. All right, well there's dragon, and it gives you information on the dragon. On the side is some very important things. It's considered a mega beast. It will steal items. It's immune to fire. It is a building destroyer, so it can destroy doors and things of that nature. You can train it. So if you capture it, good luck. You could train it. They're immortal, and if you happen to butcher it, this is what you would get in food items, raw materials. It gives you a lot of information. Their size. Well, in fact, look, dragons are the glass cannon of Mega Beast. Not very durable, slain quite easily. However, dragon fire will melt every non-shield using creature in the game. Now, you might ask, RC, why did you give your archers shields if they're firing from behind portcullises or whatever? Well, that's why right there. As long as they have a shield, they can survive a dragon breath attack. So anyway, lots of great information in here. You can look up military tactics, just anything you can think of. And then, each one will have military quick start guide on where to go. So to find this, you go to dwarffortresswiki.org. And that brings you right to it. Bookmark that page. This is a great source of information, a great resource to utilize while you're playing Dwarf Fortress. And as you can see, you can just pull it up, from within the game. So let's come back in here. So again, I do need a few things, and I do want to check while we're paused. All right, so here is that shop. All right. Let's see. Well, it said make lie. All right, let's go back and look at it again. Soap flowchart. All right, a wood furnace. Oh, at an ashery. Okay, that's what it was. All right, my ashery's over here. All right, so make lie. And I'm going to put that on repeat. And I will do 5 to 10. And then I want to come up here, build workshop, workshop, soap maker's workshop, Shift S, okay. We'll put it right there. So I need a bucket and a piece of stone. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to make a stockpile. And I'm guessing that's going to be a bar or block. Let's see. We're going to go in there and hit Q for query. And we will allow the bins. And nope, that's... All right, what does lie count as? 1 bar of ash and an empty bucket. Ash is made from wood. Okay, lie is moved from buckets into a barrel with a food stockpile with lie. Okay, so what I need to do then is I need to disable that, enable food, block all of that, and then we want to come find lie. It's not a paste. There it is, miscellaneous liquids. All right, so there's lie. So that's going to go here. All right, so just following that. So that's actually easier than I thought. I've just never done it. So they will make ash here, put that here. He can make potash, but he'll also make lye, which will go into a bucket, which will come here. And then once this is made, I need to then create soap. And let's go into our Dwarf Therapist, and you notice we're up to 77 adult dwarves, 5 children, 7 babies. So we're up to 89 in our population. We did have another migrant wave, and it was a relatively large one. I think we got 22 people. Let's see. Now, soap. Bone carver, brewer, soaper. There we are. All right, so let's go find. All right, I got 2 woodcutters that can do that because they don't cut wood very often. And I have 1 peon that can do it. And that'll be enough. I mean, between the 3 of them, they should be able to make soap. And as you saw, you only need 750 units in the hospital. So let's go back and look at that again. All right, hospital information. So we only need 750 soap. This is to fight off infection. We do need to get water as well, which I have not found. That'll be my next project that I will be looking for. We have also expanded our bedrooms. Now here's a neat shortcut. If you hit Z or Z and then B, it doesn't tell you this anywhere, but X first. So Z and then X and then B for bedrooms. This will give you a bedroom count. So I have 119 beds, 102 are built, 17 are unbuilt. I have 59 bedrooms, 55 are owned, 4 are unowned. And so I can see now I only have 4 rooms left, but that does not take into account any of these that I have not made a bedroom yet. So that's only on this side, and it does not count hospital because those are not bedrooms. Once you designate this as a hospital zone, it's not a sleeping quarters for other dwarves. So I have 4 left here, plus this entire new wing will now be open. Let's see, what else? I have gone up, as we had discussed, and I have cleared away all the upward and downward ramps here and on the upper level here, all the way up to this northern edge. And then I've also, that's taken away the downward access on this entire level here, except for the very bottom right there and the very north. So anything that comes in from up here has to come to the very southern edge or the very northern edge up here to get down to the next level, which puts them right for this warning tower that we're going to have. But even there, I've taken down the ledges here, which means they still have to come down up here, which means they have to come right towards our dog that's in the second story looking out to the north. And so that gives us a lot more warning time from the east side and the north and the south on this eastern perimeter. The west I'm not so worried about because I have the river there, and still they would have to come down on this area here, which means having to come all the way up. The other thing I'm doing is I am starting to build a second wall level of fortifications with the floor wrapping around it and all the way across. So I've got that kind of set up to be built. So that's going on, and I will then have a second floor of walls. Then I will have another level up that then I will build out a outer floor which stops them from climbing your wall, and we'll have a third level there. I don't think we will roof this in, and what I would really like to do is maybe build a back wall over this area. But now that I've taken out the ramps, I don't know if I need to. Although, if they get here, they could drop in. They could just drop in right there. But, you know, what I'm hoping is by them, you know, having to come from the northern side, even to walk that far, that still gives me, you know, they can defeat my wall, but I can still get my drawbridge up if I need to. And if I do that, then that forces them to come out and go through my killing zone this way. And I think, let's see, time-wise, we're only 15 minutes in. I wasn't planning on doing a lot, but what I do want to do, I mentioned 1 or 2 episodes back, now we have our killing zone here, and I had mentioned that I had really messed up on this floor. Now I've smoothed out and carved fortifications for my archer squads to come up here to fire down into that room, but with the solid floor there was no way they could shoot. So I'm channeling it away, and as I mentioned, you have to, in an earlier episode, you have to do this carefully. Now the easy way is you clear the whole perimeter except for this spot right there, except for that one right there. And then after that's all cleared out, because we mentioned last episode, as long as there's one connection, there will not be a cave-in. So you have everybody get out of there, make sure that nobody's underneath here, and you can mine that out if you've cleared the entire perimeter here. And once you channel that out, then this whole floor would cave in. Now sometimes that's a good trap to use. You know, if you have a dragon or a colossus or some type of mega beast, you know, you could cave the floor in, and that would typically be a good way to kill them without exposing your dwarves to any danger. What will happen is, you know, think about what happens if you cave in an entire room of this size and the whole, you know, whole rock floor drops away. You're going to get a big blowback through this opening, and it's going, you know, and I have seen dwarves get hurt or even killed from that blow. So that's one way to do it, but what I'm doing right now is I am using the channel, which basically digs a hole in the floor, and I am marking both sides to be channeled, and I'll do that all the way till I have the one last strip here in the middle. And then I can either just channel it one at a time, starting on the far end, and then that would be the easiest thing, or then I could go ahead and do, because I've already channeled the far side here, so there's nothing holding the floor up over here. This is just hanging over space by these 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, by these 6 pieces of rock right here. And so what I might do is just channel it back one at a time, or I may go ahead and just channel this one spot and have a minor cave in. But let's go ahead and unpause it so you can see how the channeling works. And it's just like digging, except instead of just digging out that section, they're actually digging a hole in the floor. And so that's when you see these dots in this tile set, that's actually a 2-story chamber now. That's the bottom floor, and that's 2 stories up. And I'm going to go ahead and do another one here. All right, we're going to go ahead and do this one. And so you can see, as long as there's that one piece of rock, there will be no cave-in. All right, what I think I'm going to do, all right, they're all out of the room. I'm just going to check down here. So there's nobody down here. Now you can see what ore is left down here. I'm going to go ahead and do a channel just so you can see a cave-in. It won't be as bad because it's only the one strip, but imagine if this was the whole room. All right, so he's coming back, and here it's going to go. All right, so now it goes to the site of the cave-in. It's this whole row, and now you can see some additional stone. Now if we go back up, we want to make sure he doesn't fall. We hope he doesn't fall, and he got blown back, but he didn't get knocked down. If that would have been the whole room, he most certainly would have been knocked down. All right, so now we want to complete this fortification, And I'm going to try to use microline because that's this blue, just to have something that you guys can say, hey, he actually used the same thing. Now, when you have these ramps, when I channeled out, it does leave a ramp access. So I want to get rid of that. So you use D for digging, and then Z to remove stairs and ramps. And we're going to highlight those, and that'll get rid of that, so there's no way they can climb the walls. Oh, you know what it did do, though? It destroyed my bridge. Oh, that's not good, so we need to get that done right away. And it's the 3 pieces of microline that were right there, so that's what actually got broken. You know, so there are things underneath that can get broken when you do that. Live and learn. All right, let's see. I do want to smooth stone in here, but not the floor, not yet. I just want to smooth the walls, just for looks. It doesn't serve any purpose other than looks. And we're going to leave the platinum and, you know, the tetrahedrite, the silver, and the copper, some gems. So that'll look kind of, you know, real pretty. Ooh, native silver. I would like to get that, but hey, what are you going to do? All right, so we do need that done really quickly. I do have enough people on architecture. I do have, let's see, I'm going to make sure my miners are set up for architecture. That way, since they're not doing anything, they can come take care of that. And all right, so yes, here he is. He's moving the rock in. So he will fix that, and then a mason will have to come and, you know, he's designing it right now. That's all he's doing. He's moving the products needed, the raw materials. And he is an architect, so he is actually setting it up. So it's designed now, and now a mason has to come and actually build it because it's stone. If we would be building a wood bridge, a carpenter would have to come do it. So, you know, that changes how things progress, and, you know, you may want to build one out of wood. And I just noticed we had an alert for our leather quiver. I did make some quivers, so if we go into the military screen and take a look, I've done a couple of things. So this will be the last thing we'll cover, is uniforms. Now, I mentioned, you saw how in earlier episodes we assigned just a shield, a weapon, and, you know, you can do that. You can assign every individual piece of gear, armor, leggings, helm, gloves, boots, shield, and weapons. And you can do that, and that works great. When you get enough people, sometimes it's prudent to make a uniform. So you can go into uniforms here, and it starts with 3 or 4 default uniforms. I immediately delete those, so I delete the uniforms, and then I add or create a new uniform. So I have a specific uniform if the dwarf uses an axe, a hammer, a mace, a sword, an archer, or a spear. And you can take a look for the axe. It's all steel with a copper shield and a steel axe. All steel with a copper shield and a silver warhammer for hammers. And then you notice how I named all of my military people. So when you go into equip, you can actually assign uniforms. And so now, like my archers, all have the archer set, which is copper armor, copper shield, and any crossbow, because some of them have steel already, and I don't want those to go to waste. But, you know, so I do allow that. The destroyer, so my hammer dwarf, you see he has hammer. My mace dwarf changes over to oh no, he should be a mace. All right, there's hammer, mace, hammer, mace, hammer, mace, mace, hammer. Okay. Those are left over. Oh, you'll also notice my spear dwarfs and my axe dwarf are gone. They did not all die because I had actually gotten some more people. I have now made this my blunt weapon squad, so they're all hammer and mace. And then Airush's exterminators, because Catton, who was the other commander, is also a hammer dwarf. So I demoted her, and Airush was the axe dwarf that was in the other group that had made one of the kills earlier on the giant squirrel and some of the goblins. And now we have, so let's see, these have not actually been done, so let me add these in. All right, so axe, spear, and it's a matter at this point of finding the one and just hitting enter. Axe, 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 and axe. All right, so basically what they will do now is if I go look at the uniform for an axe dwarf, it's a steel mail shirt, steel helm, steel greaves, steel gauntlets, steel high boots, a copper shield, and a steel battle axe. So now that they have that uniform assigned to them, they will automatically go down to our stock room where the weapons and armor are, and they will right there, he just automatically picked it up and will equip it himself. Now the drawback to this, if you want to call it a drawback, is it's a cascade effect. Let's say that they have an average battle axe, which looks like that, just parentheses or nothing denoting anything special. That's a below average because of the minus. That's an average. Okay, then you have the star, which is a above average, and then you have the 3 lines, which is a masterpiece. Not a masterpiece, but this is the highest you can get without being a masterpiece. All right, so that would be below that, and then the masterpiece has kind of like a little sun symbol next to it. And so let's say that I don't have any masterpieces right now. So what's going to happen is when a masterpiece is created, somebody will come and get that, drop their weapon, and then if it's better than somebody else's, it just continues to snowball. So you may have a period of time where everybody is going through changing their weapons or armor pieces, and you just have to give it time to play itself out. Let's see, so you can see we've got iron building up, just a little bit of pig iron, a little bit of steel. I have added some more rooms down here. This smelter is strictly for magnetite and steel. You notice I have coke twice. To smelt each item takes a piece of coal. So that's 3 coals that they're going to need right away. And then to make the steel is 2 coals, one for the process and then one to add to the flux to make the steel and get the reaction to harden the pig iron into steel. So you always want to, if you're using lignite, just add in a couple of your shops, have one shop only doing that, or have your shops with 2 or 3 production lines of coke, just so you don't run out, because it's a pain in the butt to have to go back and make charcoal again and then get that process started up again. Especially when you have work orders, because they'll be grabbing the charcoal faster than you can make it, and they never actually get around to making the coke. So if you have to do that, basically turn everything off, delete everything, and that way you can build your charcoal up and then start again with just making the coke again. So you want to keep a good supply of that on hand. I think that's about it, guys. So a little bit happened this episode, a few things I wanted to show you. So thanks for dropping by, and we will see you next time.